Good morning, natural gas. It's Tuesday, August the 4th, 2026. I'm Tim Beggins, president of Elk Trading Company. And for the spot September natural gas contract, we're down. We're down hard. We're down to 266.40, down 11.7 cents or over 4%. Why? Because negotiations continue with the Strait of Hormuz, with Iran, Oman, and the United States. So we're pushing lower. But one interesting fact is out here right now, the market is approaching a major oversold condition. I've marked them here on the chart. This is what's called DeMark Sequential. It's an indicator of a market that may be poised to reverse. So we look at the market, we mark down lows that are making next lows, new lows, and then count them down. So between 9 and 13 down days, and you've got to be careful of a major reversal here. So today, with the big move, we're day 8. So if we continue tomorrow, we're going to be really poised for an oversold condition right ahead of storage. Storage is expected to be around plus 25 BCF. So the marketplace here is getting pulled down by crude oil, but watch out, we may be approaching an oversold condition and ready to push back out. Let's take a look at the hourly chart. As you can see, we've pushed well below the daily pivot, which came today at 276.70, and we're down now through the first and second support levels here. Secondary support was 266.70. We're below that right now. We are currently pushing toward the third support at 262.40. The RSI is in oversold condition as well. So watch out, be careful here. This is a big move following crude oil's push down, but watch out, this market may be approaching an oversold condition here. Let's take a look at the front to back spreads, and this is Jan versus October, and as a result, we are pushing up plus 1.4 cents here to 138.80. Right now, the RSI is still pointing upwards. This is because of the weakness in the front of the board. Let's take a look at the grid, and ERCOT is expected to be almost 89,000 megawatts here for total demand. Renewables about 47,000 here in the grid. Natural gas right now is pushing 32% of the fuel mix, over 20,000 megawatts. Again, solar continues to be the king here in ERCOT. And let's take a look at the grid across the country. PJM is spiking here this morning here, pushing over $124 here. Right now, that's where the volatility is, as well as New England here, right there, pushing at $110. Everywhere else is relatively calm. SPP is calm. ERCOT is relatively calm. And CalSO, that's California, is also calm. MISO might be pushing out as high as 106 later today. Let's take a look at the renewable part of this, and this is part of the reason why gas is struggling. There's ERCOT. Renewables are over 53% of the fuel mix at this hour. How about CalSO? Well, that is running at right now 41% right now. And then look at SPP this morning, almost, look at that, 72%. And right now we're down to 40.9%. So renewables are eating into natural gas market share. And here's the heat. 6 to 10 day forecast here, above normal temperatures stretching from Kansas all the way back over into Virginia here along the Tennessee Valley. So that's good news there for demand. And here's that above normal temperatures for the 8 to 14 day temperature outlook as the above normal temperatures start to settle into the southeast. As you can see, we're starting to see some below normal temperatures up in New England and near normal temperatures all the way on the Pacific coast and around Arizona. Let's take a look at the extreme heat risk here. And as you can see right now, we do have major heat risk for over 17 million people and 2.8 million people in extreme heat risk. This stays a little bit warm, as you can see. The interior west continues to be hot and dry. And as you can see, warmer temperatures are snaking up the east coast at this time. But those temperatures start to ease up on the east coast a little bit here. But as you can see, the extreme and moderate major heat risk is centered in the middle of the country. Let's take a look at the weather model going past that period right now. That would be the 11th here. And as you can see, some of these temperatures, the triple digits are Texas, all the way back over toward the Carolinas, But as you can see, let's see, there's cooler temperatures here around the Great Lakes, around the Mid-Atlantic, up into New England. This is not helpful for natural gas demand. As you can see, the hundreds, 103 in Dallas, 96 over in Phoenix, 88 up in Atlanta. So as you push further into the forecast period here, again, the warmer temperatures are stuck in the south. So let's take a look overseas, and here is the TTF. This is in euros per megawatt hour. As you can see with the headline news, they're down almost 3% right now. The RSI is in sell mode at this moment. Let's take a look at Europe, and here's the forecast, and it is warm. It continues to be warm across Europe as we move into the second week of August here. This is the 8th and 9th here. This is starting to be very, very warm as we get into the 12th here, 13th and 14th. Very, very hot across France, Belgium, and of course, Germany. As we move through the forecast period here, it stays warm. Let's take a look at storage across the EU, 57.4% full. But let's also take a quick glance here at Germany, and Germany being the largest user here of natural gas. And as you can see right now, they're at minimal lows, new minimal lows here, 47% full. Last year, 62.5%. So we've got to have a big push, but injections, as you can see, peak out here in this next few days for Germany. So pedal to the metal, it's still got to move a lot of gas into storage. Let's take a look at Asia, and this is Typhoon Dolphin here. This is the GFS model here, pushes this storm system north of Shanghai, back up toward the capital here of Beijing. But look behind it, there is yet another system possibly forming here in the forecast period around August the 17th and 18th here. As you can see, this is going to be very, very interesting. The European model pushes it south of Shanghai. This is a very big typhoon. So look at the forecast. As we can push through, you can see warmer temperatures right now between Shanghai and the capital city of Beijing. But look, there's that swirling that's going on right here. On the maps, you can hardly see it, but look at that water coming onshore by August the 8th here. That's only 4 days from now. That's going to push cooler temperatures into southern China and then possibly back up towards Shanghai. So this is going to keep things fairly cool as we go through the forecast. Let's take a look at the LNG, and there are 2 LNG tankers loading at Ras Laffan. That's right, 2. We haven't seen this in months. So this is important news here. But as we can push back out, you can see there is just a little bit of traffic going through the Strait of Hormuz. So still congestion off Dubai and Oman. And as you can see, there's still some congestion for Bandar Abbas, the major port for Iran. Let's turn to the U.S. Cameron, steady as she goes, 1.46. Freeport running just about 1.15. That's okay. And let's take a look at Creole Trail, which feeds Sabine Pass here. And we've got some open capacity, but it has improved a little bit. And we look over at Corpus Christi, doing very, very well here. 2.635 BCF out of 2.75. Again, you got to be careful with the heat and humidity. These facilities cannot run at full capacity. As the temperatures start to cool, though, you should see an improvement. And let's take a look over at Calcasieu Pass. Still well open here, capacity 465,000. Plaquemines, a little bit of capacity, 131,000. And look at the surprise today. Golden Pass, over 500,000 MMBTUs at a total capacity of over 800 to 850,000 for Train 1. This is good news. We saw this spike a couple of weeks ago, but it then eased back off. So perhaps things are starting to improve here. Good news as we push into August. How about the tropics? Well, we've got some tropical activity here around Jamaica right now, some storm activity off the East Coast, some storms a little further east of the Bahamas that may collide with this cool front here and cause some rain in the southeast. How about the tropics? Well, right now, nothing is expected for the next 7 days. We'll keep a careful eye on this system coming off the coast of Africa, but right now it's going to run into the Saharan air layer. This massive plume of dust is probably going to inhibit any storm development for at least the next few weeks. Let's take a look at the U.S. nuclear fleet. About 3 gigawatts are offline today, mainly here Riverbend in Louisiana, and now Millstone up here in Connecticut, which is at 41% out, and Monticello is at 50% outage. So as we move into cooler temperatures in the northern tier of the country, these nuclear units that are ready for refueling and maintenance may start to come off here. And let's take a look at the fire risk, because we've got significant fire risk out in the Pacific Northwest where we do have fires, and Texas, Louisiana, and parts of Mississippi and Arkansas. And as you can see here, we do have major fires out in the Pacific Northwest, and including places like Colorado, Arizona, and New Mexico. So it is dry. It is going to continue to be dry through this winter and into the spring and possibly summer because of super El Niño conditions that are forming. This is not good news. They're running out of water. And let's take a look at the stocks. This is stocks in the oil and gas E&P sector. Stocks between $2 and $10 billion have a high short float over 10%. The only one that's positive today is Crescent Energy. Behind me, CNX is back on the list here, down 1.79%. And as you can see, again, for the spot September contract, we're currently trading at 266.70, down 11.4 cents or over 4%. Let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. Please hit that like and subscribe button. Thanks for listening. We'll see you tomorrow.